Hi guys. I've tried filming this video twice already, but I'm in a lot of pain, so I've been having to stop. But yeah, I just got home from the hospital maybe like 30 minutes ago. And I think for this video I just want to talk about like the actual surgery experience in my hospital stay. And sorry if I keep looking at myself and not at the actual camera. I'm not used to filming this way. I also have the camera, like the front facing camera filming, not the back one, just to make sure that the camera doesn't cut off. But yeah, yesterday I had my surgery and we had to check in at 5:30 a.m. So that means we had to get up at like 4 o'clock or whatever. And it was kind of weird because, you know, normally before you have a surgery, they give you like a body wash that like sanitizes your whole body. They actually gave us these wipes, almost like wet baby wipes. And you have to use them the night before and the day of. And they're really sticky and itchy. And it kind of sucked. But we did all of that, and I made a tiny like overnight bag. It didn't really have anything in it, and I basically never used the stuff that was in it, but it had the clothes that I wore to the hospital, my toothbrush, and face care stuff, which I haven't even touched yet. That's why I look even more scrappy than I normally do. And like my wallet and stuff. And we checked in, and since this, you know, it's like pandemic time, me and my partner Avery, we had to wear masks and we had to keep them on as much as possible. And yeah, the hospital, it's like really empty because, you know, there's no visitors or whatever. But they had us go back in the surgery prep room. So, you know, I had to take all my clothes off and put on the surgery gown and the socks. And that's whenever they started doing like the IV things. And as you can see, I have some band-aids, and I had some where I'm like really bruised up. You can't see it on camera because my veins were being dickheads, and the nurse couldn't like get the IV in any of my veins because she said that they were really like short and had tons of valves, I guess, and so she just couldn't puncture it. And she tried twice, and I got really like sick and dizzy, and so she like laid me down, and she had to bring this other nurse in, and she too couldn't get it on the first try, but then she finally got it into this hand, and she said that that doesn't happen to her very often. Sorry, I keep itching my nose, guys. I hadn't been able to take like an antihistamine, so my allergies are really bad right now too. But so they did all the IV stuff, and they pumped me with like some sort of antibiotic in the IV drip. And then the anesthesiologist came in, and she kind of just explained to us what she was going to do, which they had already told us about that at the pre-op with the hospital. And she gave me this little patch. I don't think you can see it. She gave me a little patch to stick on behind my ear so that I don't get really sick after I come out of the anesthesia, because that's happened to me before. And it always works. I never haven't had any issues once I have the patch on. And yeah, so we just waited until my doctor, my OBGYN, came in, and she like, you know, was like, okay, we're going to do the hysterectomy. We're going to take everything out but your ovaries. It should be fine. It's robotic assisted laparoscopic surgery. And then they willed me away. They told Avery to go wait in the waiting room, and then they, you know, carted me off. All I remember was like, you know, entering into the actual surgery room, and like all the surgeon people like saying hi and asking me what my name was, and then they hoisted me up onto like the actual operating table, and then the anesthesiologist told me that she was pumping some medicine into my IV and to just like breathe in deep with the oxygen thing. And then I, you know, fell asleep, and then just immediately, it feels like you just immediately wake up in the recovery room is what it seemed like. Like it was literally like I take a deep breath, everything went black, and then I just like slowly came to in the recovery room. And guys, when I woke up, I was not expecting the severe amount of pain that I had. My first laparoscopic surgery wasn't that bad. Like, I woke up and I was like, wow, I'm hungry, I want to eat something, you know, can't wait to go home. But right when I woke up, it was just like waves of like intense pain in my pelvic area. And I remember like whatever nurse person was in the recovery room, she's telling me that I did really good. And, you know, they removed everything, they didn't have any problems. But she told me that she had to wait to give me better pain medication, I guess. But I was like just so out of it that I was like, oh God, you know, this hurts. So they wheeled me into my actual room that I was going to stay the night in. And I remember Avery being in there. But the pain was so bad that I actually started crying. Like, it hurt so bad. And I found out later, whenever Avery came to pick me up today, that they hadn't given me like any like higher, or not higher, any stronger pain medication, because they had to contact my pharmacy just to make sure that like I'm not somebody that's abused pain medication in the past. I get that they have to do that because, you know, people, that happens to people, but yeah. So yeah, I just remember being in a lot of pain. And Avery, I think he only probably stayed like 5-10 minutes after, because I think it really upset him how much pain I was in, because like I was crying and stuff. And like I even told him that he could like go home, because I knew for sure that I was just going to end up sleeping the rest of the day. Like, there's no way that I'd be able to stay conscious for very long because of the pain medication that they were going to give me. And so, you know, he like kissed me goodbye and he left. And then it was just me by myself. I'm so sorry I keep itching my nose. I'm having awful allergies. But, yeah. And then the nurses, they gave me, I think they gave me Percocet. And then I ended up just passing out. Like, I just immediately fell asleep. I did notice that whenever I woke up, I didn't really have a sore throat. As you can tell, my voice sounds a lot scratchier than normal. So it's just my voice that was affected, but I didn't really have a sore throat. I did feel extremely thirsty. Like, every single time that I would wake up, I would have to like chug tons of water. And the nurses seemed to really like that too. They were like, they kept coming in saying that they were glad that I was drinking tons of water. And yeah, I would just, you know, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up. And the severity of the pain would come and go in waves. It's kind of like, the pain is sort of like if you combined really severe gas pain and then really bad like cramp pain. The nurse told me that it's similar to like having contractions. This camera angle is so unflattering. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't want to hold the camera up. I woke up one time to them bringing me lunch too, and I could only eat a couple bites of the food. That's how I have been. Like, whenever I eat dinner and then breakfast and lunch again today, I can only eat like a couple bites of everything because I just don't have an appetite. I don't feel nauseous or anything, but so yeah, I don't feel nauseous at all. It's just like I just don't want to eat, I guess. Like, it just doesn't, nothing sounds appetizing. But I would force myself to eat like so many bites of each like food that they gave me or whatever. And yeah, that's basically how it went down, is that I was just mostly asleep. And it was like every 2 hours the main nurse would come in and she would ask how I was feeling, and then she would give me whatever pain medication. And then 2 more hours the assistant nurse would come in and she would like check my vitals, like check my blood pressure, my heart rate, and take my temperature. And you know, it's like pandemic time, so everybody was wearing masks, and I would try to like remember to put my mask back on when they came in, but I think half the time they didn't care because they knew I was just so like out of it. The food people really wanted me to put a mask on too. Like, right whenever they'd walk in, they'd be like, mask please, and then, you know, just to be safe. It is a hospital and there's a lot of sick people. So I also had a catheter in, which I was not excited about. I've known people who had to have catheters and they're really uncomfortable. And yeah, I thought mine was uncomfortable too. It felt like It's like the feeling that whenever you like try to put a tampon in and it doesn't fit in all the way. That's basically what it feels like. And a really funny story too. I think it was like at like 9:30 last night. I had the sensation like I had to pee really bad even though I had the catheter in, so I called the nurse in and she was like, "Oh, your cord's like kinked up. Let me just undo it." And we literally sat there for like a whole minute just watching my pee pour into this bag, and she was like, "Ooh, yep, it's still going. It's still going." She said that sometimes happens that the cords will get kinked up and then people will get backed up with pee. And she said I peed probably like 1,300 cc's worth of liquid, which is insane. And that brings me to when they took the catheter out and when I was able to get up for the first time. At 11 that night, I asked if they could take the catheter out, and the nurse was like, "Oh yeah, it's not gonna hurt." And then she literally was like, "Okay, take a deep breath," and then pulled it out of me. Y'all, that hurt so bad. That hurt really bad. I was like, why would you lie to me like that? But yeah, she took the catheter out, and then she said that if whenever I needed to pee, I didn't have to go right then. I could just call them and they'll help me. And so at around 5 a.m., I woke up because the assistant nurse was there to take my vitals, because, you know, they have to do these things every 2 hours. And I told her, I was like, "Hey, I kind of have to pee, but I'm nervous about getting up." And she was like, "Oh, no, don't worry, just, like, take your time." But whenever I got up, it actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't even that painful. God, sorry, guys, I keep itching my nose. It's probably really annoying. I need to take an allergy pill. But, yeah, so it was really hard to sit up, not because of the pain, but because it's almost like your abdomen muscles don't exist anymore. Like, they're so tight that you can't bend them. So I had to, like, use all of, like, my back and arm strength and leg strength to get up. Oh yeah, I also had these wraps on my legs that like will squeeze, like they alternate squeezing your right and left leg, just to make sure that your blood's flowing since you're like bedbound. And I really like those. I actually have pretty restless legs at night, so I kind of wish we had those at our house. I'd love to have those to sleep with. But yeah, so they took those off so that I could go to the bathroom. And yeah, it wasn't that bad. I just walked like Frankenstein, like I was like, oh. But I made it to the bathroom. And they have this like little bucket where they measure your pee, but I missed it the first time, so the nurse thought it was really funny. But they said that they were glad that I was peeing so much because that means that I'm like really rehydrating. So yeah, while I was there, I got up, I think like 3 or 4 times, and I did it all by myself. Like the nurses were in the room, but they didn't have to like hold me up or anything, because it doesn't really hurt that bad. The pain that I'm feeling right now that's really bad is gas pain. The gas pain hurts so bad, guys. It's like the worst gas pain I've ever felt in my life. It's like I need to poo all my organs out or something. It's that kind of bad gas pain. So yeah, so I today, you know, before we left, I tried eating some breakfast. I could only eat a little bit. I drank a lot of fluids. Along with the pain medication, they've been giving me like Miralax and other stool softeners, because they told me that they don't want me to get constipated from the amount of pain medication that I'm taking. They only gave me Percocet like twice, because I told them, I was like, "Hey, I don't really like taking a lot of pain medication because I'm really sensitive. Like I basically just get really, really high when I take pain meds, and I hate that feeling." And I've had, the previous laparoscopic surgery before, and I got so constipated that, like, I couldn't go to the bathroom for, like, a whole week, and it was really painful. So they were trying to lay off of that and just give me, like, the over-the-counter hospital-grade medicine. So that's how most of the day consisted. My gynecologist actually came in and talked to me about the procedure, and I was really surprised because she told me that I did have more endo tissue this time, but it was in like a completely different spot from where it had been. Like my first laparoscopic surgery, I had like the tissue was around my cervix and one of my ovaries, and they were fusing to my back. But this time it was like all around the back part of my uterus, which is so weird. Like it's like endometriosis is such like a bizarre disease that it's almost like a cancer. I don't know. I don't even know how to explain to it, but like you remove the tissue and then it decides to just grow in like another place. It's really wild. But yeah, I have, I'm not going to show you guys on camera because that's probably really graphic, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 tiny incisions, and they're stitched on the inside of my stomach, and then on the outside there's just glue. And it was funny because they're like in really weird places, and it's because the doctor said that she didn't want to cut my tattoos, which is hilarious because I actually do have a previous scar on one of them from another laparoscopic surgery that I had. But yeah, they're in like really weird places, and they're kind of tender, but they don't hurt that bad. And they have like the glue is purple, so it looks kind of weird. It's kind of gross looking, but it's not too bad. And like my stomach and my thighs are like, I can probably show you my thighs. They're like dyed this, oh, you can't really see it. They're dyed with that orange stuff. So tomorrow I think I'm going to take a shower and Avery's going to help me get all of that off. Right now the pain that I'm dealing with is definitely still the gas pain. I've actually gone like number 2 once, and TMI y'all, but I've had diarrhea twice within like the past 2 hours. Not 2 hours, probably less than 2 hours, which is kind of worrisome, but I would rather it just all come out than me be constipated. I don't really know what else to talk about. The hospital experience really wasn't that bad. I mostly just slept a lot, you know. I had got poked a lot in my arms. Oh yeah, at like 5 this morning, this lady had to come in and do like some blood work, and she just very casually was able to like do it from here. And she said it's because I was really hydrated. So I think the first time, like in like that morning before surgery, whenever they like stabbed me 4 times or whatever, I think they just couldn't get into the veins because I had to fast, you know, the night before and the day of. Like I hadn't had any water since like 10 o'clock the previous night. But yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. I feel like I've been talking all over the place because I am on pain medication and I'm probably not making any sense. And my throat's really scratchy. And I don't want to like, I know I've been talking about how like painful it is, but I don't want to like freak people out that are getting this surgery because it is painful, but I know that it's going to be worth it. Like this pain is temporary, you know. They gave me like discharge papers that talk about like what I can and can't do after surgery. So they said that they do want me to like walk around as much as possible because that'll help with the gas pain and you'll recover faster. I can't lift anything that's like more than 15 pounds. And what else? I can even turn the pages. In 2 weeks I have to go to the doctor's office for post-op. And I can like resume my medication. They recommend trying to not take so much of the heavy dose like opioid type pain medication and just basic stuff. You know, I can't like I think tomorrow I'm going to take a shower, but I just can't like scrub my incisions. I just have to let the water on them. And she recommended to not do any like house chores. Like if I'm going to move around, it's only because I need to get up to like walk to the bathroom is basically what she's saying. Obviously no sexual intercourse. She mentioned no tampons, which why would I wear tampons? I'm not going to have a period anymore. This seems pretty basic. I'm just going to try and keep eating clean. Right now I don't have an appetite, so it's not going to be a big deal. And make sure that I'm eating tons of, you know, healthy foods that'll help me go to the bathroom so I don't get constipated. Because that's honestly like the worst thing. Whenever I had my other laparoscopic surgery, it hurts so bad when you're constipated. And I've been drinking tons of fluids and I'm going to keep doing that. I think I had probably like 4 big jugs of water and like 2 cups of apple juice, and with each meal they gave me like unsweetened tea. So I've been drinking tons and tons of fluid. I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm gonna try and do like weekly updates. So, you know, I'll make a video for week 1 and week 2 and all the way up to 6 weeks. I'm really fortunate because I have a job that was able to provide me with like FML and extended sick leave, so I'm going to get paid. But I know that that's like a privilege that not everybody can have. And I've seen videos on here of women saying that, you know, they have like families and stuff, and they have to like take care of kids while they have this surgery, and that just sounds like a lot. So I have a lot of respect for those people, because I get to just take it easy. The only sad thing too is that when I came home, our dog Leia really wanted to say hi to me, but she can't, you know, jump on the bed or anything because of my tummy. But she's a good dog. She's been really good, and Avery's been really supportive and sweet. I feel very fortunate to be able to go through this with him. He's very much a rock in my life right now. And I've been, you know, texting my friends and my family, and yeah, it's been okay, you know. I only cried once from the pain, and I think it's going to be a good experience to heal from. But, yeah, I'm going to go. I look disgusting. I can't stop touching my nose like a crazy person because it's so itchy. And, yeah, I think I'm just going to maybe watch some Hulu. Maybe sleep some more. I don't know. But, thanks for checking in with me again, and I'll be sure to update everybody in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.